Drag Racers, I'm Maddox.
And I'm Ross.
And for season 5 of RuPaul's Drag Race, every week we will be bringing you our top 3 moments of the week, the shade of the week, our favorite queen of the week,
our least favorite queen of the week, our favorite costume on the runway, and predictions for next week's episode.
Yes, so stay tuned.
What do you want? What's the tea? You tell me what's the tea. What's the tea? You tell me what's the tea.
Okay, so I'm going to start off by saying that obviously this is not Logan.
No, sorry.
But he is the original co-host for What's the Tea. It was our baby born from us.
It was a baby drag queen.
And it was our original idea and whatever. So he's back and I have a show tonight, that's why I'm in drag. And my first favorite moment was Jinx falling asleep. Logo, you are really shady this season with all the editing. Well, me and Logan have spoken about this in previous episodes. Your editing is so shady that it could be the shade of the week every week. But there's a moment where Jinx is like, she doesn't know what to do about her jokes. She doesn't know what to do about her jokes. And she's like worrying. I guess her being worried and stressed brings on her, the anxiety brings on her narcoleptic tendencies. So she was falling asleep in the workroom and it was shady for them to even put that up.
Awesome.
And then it was like, hashtag
narcoleptic drag queen. That was my half of my shade of the week.
Okay.
Hashtag narcoleptic drag queen, which will now be my hashtag at the end of every tweet ever from now on.
Okay, so what's your first favorite moment?
My first was during the mini challenge when Alaska gets up to read as the library is open, and she says, "Oh, I don't want to read these girls. I love them. Let's do this."
I really like Alaska.
Alaska was amazing in that mini challenge, especially with that little opener. I had to borrow some sunglasses.
She's so very likable. And I don't know if you remember, but last season, I wasn't a fan of someone that I'm not even going to mention, but he loved this person. But I think that Alaska serves everything that that person serves, but is still very much likable. I love Alaska. So that's all I wanted to say.
Alaska's wonderful, and that line was definitely my first favorite moment.
My second favorite moment came during the roast. I thought Alaska was hilarious, Gert. She did a lot of good one-liners, but my favorite was her exit. She was like, and the next girl, that's Roxy with 3 X's, like her dress size. I almost fell to the floor. I gagged. Alaska, like I said, is very likable. I loved her roast. I thought she should have won in the roast, but she didn't. That was my second favorite moment. It's good.
My second favorite moment was Michelle coming in and talking to the queens as they prepared for the roast instead of Ru. Obviously, Ru couldn't come in and coach them
about her
on how to make fun of her. But I love Michelle, and I love her little quick flashes that we get to see her in the show, and this was just her actually coaching the queens, which I don't think we've seen before, so I like that a lot, of her coming in and kind of being on camera more, because any Michelle I will happily take.
Michelle is very shady as well.
She's super shady.
She gives, like, direct shade right to your face.
But she's always right.
But she is
Whereas with Santino, I'm like, no.
Yeah, when Santino says something, I'm like, girl, shut up.
Right, but with Michelle, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Gert, I agree.
Agree.
My third favorite moment was Jinx during the roast, because Jinx is really funny. She's a comedic queen, obviously, and I just loved her this episode. And she tells, during a roast, obviously you don't only roast the main person, you roast everyone. And she goes to Michelle and she says, Michelle Visage is so full of semen. Period. Like, done.
Perfect.
That's it. It was perfect. It was perfection. Jinx was so funny, and it was the best she's ever looked. Other girls had some struggling. Roxy. Even Detox, and I thought Detox was going to be hilarious, struggled pretty badly. Ivy is just boring. I don't even know why she's there anymore, but that's neither here or there. But Jinx was my third favorite moment. So, what was yours?
Mine was everyone's. Let me just recap what happened in that lip sync. So Roxy gets put in the bottom, which honestly deserved, sorry. Along with Alyssa, which, let's be honest, why is she still on this show? Anyways.
Hashtag meth mouth.
Hashtag what happened to your chin. So they get up there and it's Whip Your Hair, and I was like, really? I don't know how exciting the song is at this point in my life.
Yeah, it's like 4 years later.
And
it came out when Willow Smith was like 6, and she's like 10 now.
Yeah. Roxy like took off Spanx or something. Something happened and I was like, oh. And then she goes like this, and I instantly think, is she really...
She's pulling them on.
Did she learn nothing? So she started ripping it off, and then this, I don't even know what magic trick. David Copperfield
Magic.
showed her that trick.
Magical.
Because she literally pulled off one wig.
A lace front at that.
To reveal another perfectly
coiffed.
longer wig underneath it. And proceeded to whip it like she had no bones in her neck. And I went through something religious.
Praise the gods of hair.
I don't know
Gert.
what happened.
I don't know how that happens. I literally was sitting here like, I'm going to mop that trick fiercely. I'm going to find out how to do so.
She was like, I have to figure out how to do that and then do it.
Because when I do it, it's going to be just as magical. Oh, what? Huh?
I don't get it.
What?
I don't get it.
You pulled off a lace front
No.
to reveal another styled lace front under it. It's not like it was like another ratty wig or something under it. It was like equally as beautiful. Like,
I don't get it. It was beautiful.
Emotions happen to my body.
Emotions and feelings.
Hashtag I don't understand what just happened.
/ you can't.
Bam, damn, boozled.
Yes, all of that as well.
Oh!
So that was my third and also favorite of my third favorites. I'll never forget
She
that.
was Monica Beverly Hills doing it. I'm just saying. Oh! That was fierce.
That was history.
My shade of the week comes from Jinx Monsoon, who has become one of the most shadiest of them all. And they're like talking while they're getting ready during their makeup, and Coco's reading everyone. So then Jinx says, Coco, why are you still doing your ventriloquist doll makeup? I was like, girl, that is so fierce. And everyone clocking her highlight looking like Tang. Orange should not be on your face.
No,
and
it should be on
I
your head.
Yeah, I blend orange into my blush, but I would never put orange on my highlight. Like I don't even understand why.
Hashtag.
Why?
My shade of the week was during the roast when Alyssa exploded into a million pieces, not in the good way. And then Detox comes up and says, "Oh, give it up for him. He tried his best," which is the shadiest thing.
Yes.
Not only calling a drag queen
him, yeah,
but also saying it 3 times in 2 sentences and basically tearing down
everything
the
you
roast,
just did.
Which was
first of all, Alyssa's whole roast. There was like microphone problems. She kept pulling the mic. There was like feedback. At one point, the mic cut off. It was just like,
it was like
girl.
an SNL sketch.
So, my favorite queen of the week, which is kind of a toss-up. I wrote Alaska, but like I liked Alaska and Jinx this episode. I really liked them both. Actually, Alaska won the mini challenge for the reading, and she deserved it. She read them for filth. So, I'll just keep it on with Alaska, but an honorable mention for Jinx Monsoon, because it's monsoon season, girls. So, get your rain boots and your umbrellas, because Jinx Monsoon is a force to be reckoned with. And a lot of the girls are clocking her for being like, oh, I don't know if I did good, and then doing good and still being like, oh, I don't know how I did that. And it's like, girl, you know how you did that. That's fierce that you pulling those shades and shows, Gert. But the jig is up, girl. The jig is up. Who was your favorite queen of the week?
My favorite queen was Alaska as well. I thought that this was totally her episode.
Yeah.
I give her a lot of props for breaking out of the Alaska Talks thing, because that was getting on my nerves. And I feel like every season
they have like
the
little
Heathers,
subgroups, yeah.
Yeah, they tried, everyone's like, oh, we have to do that. And it's
Yeah.
like, no, you don't. It's a competition.
we're
You
not.
can be friends with.
This ain't RuPaul's best friend race.
I wouldn't be mad if if on one season every queen got along. It's
Yeah.
not that. It's just you don't need to form your little super group. It's not necessary. You can just be friendly and have fun and also win. So I thought that was great. I thought she really. But in last week she was like, I really feel like I want to show Alaska, and like Michelle said, she really did.
Yeah.
She really showed her own. She did awesome in the roast. I really thought she deserved to win.
I just wish she put on more makeup.
Yeah, that, and I wish she would do a different look. It is always kind of the same
most
with
makeup
hair.
she has worn this whole season was when she was Lady Bunny, and I thought her beat was fierce as Lady Bunny. She doesn't do that when she's being Alaska. She has on the lightest blush a woman has ever worn, and she's not a woman, obviously. So it's just girl, put on more makeup.
She's not a woman?
No, Gert, she's not. She's a transformer. Besides that, I really like her though.
Mm-hmm. She was my Queen of the Week.
Worst? Do we really need to say who's the worst? Because
let's just show them.
Alyssa, she kept. First of all, if you tell a joke and no one else laughs, and then you laugh, that's very awkward.
She doesn't even laugh though. She's gyrates. She's
and her face is constantly moving.
It never stops.
She has a twitch in her face. She can be standing still and her face is still I'm girl, what is wrong with you? Oh, she's my worst queen. I'm really upset that she didn't go home. Why is she still here?
And every time in every season, if Ru sends 2 home, there's always something. There's always she brings back 1.
Yeah.
So, but that wasn't even in my mind. I was like, oh, she always does that when it needs to happen.
Yeah.
Alyssa clearly should have gone home, especially after that insane runway.
When Roxy pulled off that damn wig, I said, oops, Alyssa, you're going home. Sorry, girl.
And then Ru was like, that was what I wanted. And I was like, why?
That's the passion I need. Be ready to be bam damboozled, because my favorite look on the runway was Jinx Monsoon. I just said that, and I can't believe I just said that. Gert, she changed the contour of her nose. Mm-hmm. She had on a fierce wig. Mm-hmm. She created breasts. She looked amazing. I was so shocked. And when they went to Michelle, and Michelle was like, one thing about your look. And I thought Michelle was going to read her, and I was like, I like her look. And then Michelle was like, I love it. And I was like, thank you, God, finally. You were funny during the challenges. You looked amazing on the runway. Jinx, how did you become my favorite queen? How did that happen? Because first episode, I did not like you at all. But you've been turning the party, so I gotta give credit where credit's due. I really liked her.
She was great. She was my favorite costume as well. I thought
because everyone else on the runway was stupid.
Yeah, well, it was I was like, oh,
it was a weird thing because,
change.
I was like, are they not going to do a runway? Right. Is it just going to be the roast outfit?
I kind of hated what Detox was wearing.
Yeah.
It didn't make sense to me. And Coco, that wig is obviously from her doing Rihanna, and that's just ridiculous. And
Alaska didn't have on makeup.
Yeah. So
Alyssa.
Jinx, but regardless, I think Jinx stood out.
Yeah, she did stand out.
And I was looking so good. So much more improved.
She even changed her eye makeup, which was, it was everything. She did everything different. Because I don't know why she used to put brown all on the side of her nose. Why would you do that? She contoured her nose different. She changed her eye. She put on a nice wig, a nice dress. Good for you, girl. Somehow, Coco won the rose.
No one knows how that happened. Here's the thing. I feel like she stole the whole, oh, we're doing the stand-up, let me get ghetto, because that's what Shangela did, and she won thing.
Yeah.
Because Shangela came out there and was like,
La Quifa!
and made this persona, and it was funny.
It was funny.
But,
and Shangela deserved to win that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Coco did not deserve to win.
Coco came out, and she was, I guess she made them laugh. I didn't laugh.
I didn't laugh either.
The ones they showed us, at least. So, I was confused when they were like, Jinx Monsoon, you were fabulous, you're safe. And then they dismissed, who was the other one who did okay?
Alaska.
They dismissed Alaska, and I was like, Okay, then who's gonna win? Coco?
Unfortunately.
So that sucked.
So instead of bringing someone back, they just kept Alyssa. I mean, really, I understand because, like, who would they bring back? Monica Beverly Hills Zoon it? I don't think so. Like, and who else is gone? Like, I don't even know who else is gone, so who cares? So obviously they had to keep Alyssa to keep the season going. But I'm so upset because Roxy deserved to win that lip sync until the sob story.
That was enough.
Listen, I was like, you already won. Why? I'm sorry that your mother left you at a bus stop when you were 5 years old. She's a terrible person, and she deserves to go to hell for it. But, girl, that has nothing to do with what we're talking about right now.
Untucked material.
Yeah, it's like, you're on the runway, and then all of a sudden you're crying, and they're like, what's wrong? And I thought she was going to be like, oh, it was just a hard day, like, no, I wasn't funny, yada, yada, yada. No. She was like, oh, my mother left me when I was 5 at a bus stop, and the chairs were green. I'm like, what?
I thought she was going to pull a Yara Sofia and get sent home, and I was nervous.
Oh, yeah. At first I thought she was going to give up, and I'm like, no, you just won. Don't give up.
Right.
Don't give up. So, my predictions for next week. Listen, Ivy Winters has been in the bottom 3 every week except for the week that she's won, and she's never had to lip sync. Next week, it is her time to lip sync for her life. It's like a perfume episode. I don't know what is going to happen.
Shooting a perfume commercial, it looked like.
Ivy's so boring, and Ivy, I know you, and if you watch this, I'm sorry, but you are so boring on TV. Like, I can't. It's so bad, Gert. And I want Alyssa to be back in the bottom 2 because she deserved to go home this week. So just put them both in the bottom 2, and
yeah.
I can't see Ivy sending Alyssa home, which is really unfortunate, but she's not going to turn the party. She's not a lip sync queen. She's a trick queen. Like, unless she brings out, like, a fire-eating something. Like, that's what she does. She does circus things. Yeah. That's her thing. Like, she doesn't lip sync. So unless she like takes her shoes off and juggles them, like, I don't know what she's going to do during the lip sync.
That'd be kind of fun.
Excuse me, while I take off my shoes so I can juggle them. Like, I don't know what she's gonna do.
Yeah, I feel like when it comes to these kind of challenges, I feel like Alyssa's not going to do well because she seems to not be able to compose herself for more than 3 seconds.
No.
Especially to sell something. I don't think I would ever buy anything Alyssa Edwards was selling me.
No.
Ever. We'll just see what happens is what I'm just gonna say. Because I don't really understand the challenge. So we'll see what happens, but my prediction is Alyssa will definitely be in the bottom 2. And who knows who she'll be up against, but hopefully they send
it has to be Ivy, like. So that's everything. Just leave your comments down below. Let us know who you think should be in the bottom 2 next week, and what you thought about this week's episode. And tune in next week to find out what's the tea. Deuces!
What's the tea?
Neither one of you probably should have won.
No.
So
I can't imagine what you did to win.
Said, I'm losing confidence in doing my makeup in the light, let alone the dark.